James Harden's about to be an LA Clipper. There's no other way this plays out. It looked like Harden could finish the season in Philly, but now we are hearing a ton of smoke about LA. Woj says the Clippers would like to acquire Harden sooner rather than later. They have offered a first-round pick, a pick swap, and expiring contracts. So why isn't this thing done? Because that's not even close enough for Daryl Morey. He wants LA to up their offer. Morey knows if this season bombs for Philly, it could lead to Joel Embiid demanding a trade. So only one of two things will get the beard. Either a player who can help the Sixers in a significant way, or draft capital that can be flipped for a good player. So according to Woj, the current Clippers offer is getting James Harden and say Montrezl Harrell for salary, for Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris, a 2028 first, and a 2029 swap. But Morey said no. What else does he want? LA has to involve a third team to get a good player to Philly, and it is wild. But first, Raycon is sponsoring today's video because their everyday earbuds are amazing. They have the perfect in-ear fit and sound that compares to those really expensive headphones on the market, but they're half the price, and we are getting 20 to 40% off with their birthday sale. This past year, they expanded their entire business with the introduction of Raycon Home and Raycon PowerTech, so obviously there's a lot to celebrate. Now, my everyday earbuds worked so well on deadlift day, we used them again. The music sounds great. I was completely locked in with their noise blocking feature. Even though tons of hot girls were constantly walking up to me, obviously I edited that part out, but I forgot to charge my everyday earbuds. No problem with 32-hour battery life. But again, shocked at how affordable they were, and Raycon is turning 6 with their biggest sale of the year going on right now. So go to buyraycon.com/amhoops, use the code birthday to get 20 to 40% off site-wide. buyraycon.com/amhoops, 20 to 40% off. But why is James Harden suddenly playing nice with the Sixers? We thought he'd show up in a fat suit, but he is in shape, working out, and high-fiving teammates. But do not be fooled by this. We just heard insane propaganda from old Sixers owner Michael Rubin. He's Harden's boy, hangs out with him at the white party. Listen to how insane this is.
What people don't know about James, there's nobody who wants to win a championship more than James Harden. Like, I know this guy like my brother.
Yeah.
Because people give James a hard time because, you know, he likes to have fun. I mean, it's bullshit. Like the guy's work ethic for basketball is insane. And James cares about one thing: winning championships. I think this is it's a shitty situation that I wish wasn't happening.
His attitude has been great.
What? How is leaving the reigning MVP good for winning? Or leaving KD and Kyrie before that? No, he is only playing nice for two selfish reasons. The first reason is money. 2 years ago, when Ben Simmons held out, the Sixers held out his paycheck. It took years and a lawsuit to get paid, but Harden has already gotten paid millions for showing up to camp. The other reason? He is 100% certain of a Clippers trade. Harden remains hopeful that a trade to the Clippers is still in the works and believes, for now, it would be wise to not be a distraction, and the Clippers are going to great lengths to make it happen. So what will it take for them to finally up that offer? Well, another team has to get in the mix. Then the Clippers will feel the pressure, and the only other realistic team is the Miami Heat. They have missed on multiple stars to pair with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. The offseason was such a disaster, Jimmy came in his emo look to show how depressed he actually is. Last year, talks for Donovan Mitchell broke down. This offseason, it was Bradley Beal, then Damian Lillard. So now it's just the Bucks and the Celtics in the East. The only way to get in that mix is a big trade for the beard. He's a perfect fit on offense with Butler and Bam pick and rolls. Take some pressure off Jimmy to do all the scoring. Yes, you might have to flip Tyler Hero, but he's not exactly a winner in the postseason either. Outside of his debut in the bubble, Hero has been a disappointment in the playoffs. But Harden as a third or fourth option could be great. In Houston, he was asked to be the number 1 option and failed. In Philly, the number 2 but flamed out. But in Miami, why not? So I think the Heat's first offer would be getting James Harden and PJ Tucker for Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and 2 firsts. It's the most picks they can trade, and they keep Hero to pair him with Harden in the backcourt. But Philly would never go for that. They would demand James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Furkan Korkmaz for Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, and a first. If Philly thinks Terrence Mann is good enough for Harden, Hero's definitely good enough. But there's one big problem. The most plugged-in Heat reporters say they're not interested. The only person even floating this is Shams, because he is hearing it from Harden. The Beard is trying to put pressure on LA, but it's not working. Right now, his only way to create leverage is to ball out in the regular season. If the Clippers start slow, they might panic to get Harden on their team. The last 2 years, they have slipped bad on offense. Last season, ranked 17th. The season before, 5th from last in the league. The reason is both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have been banged up. But if there's one thing about Harden, he is amazing in the regular season. Even though his points have slipped, he led the NBA in assists last year and helped Joel Embiid win MVP. So the big risk for LA isn't on the court, it's the locker room. Imagine a roster with Russ, Harden, and 2 injured superstars. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Why would they be so desperate? Because the future of the franchise is at stake. After this season, Kawhi and PG can leave as free agents. If that happens, they traded every asset, including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for nothing. The Clippers could be awful with no future and a new arena opening up. Steve Ballmer would have nothing to cheer for like 10 years. So to convince Kawhi and PG to take a pay cut, they must make an NBA Finals. So far, that's been impossible because Kawhi and PG have been injured. But with Harden, maybe they get a much higher seed and an easier path to beat the Nuggets. So there are 2 ways to get this done. The first, we know what the Sixers want. Terrence Mann and multiple first-round picks. Right now, that's off the table. The Clippers really believe in Mann, and he's their only good young player. The other way is picks to a third team and expiring contracts. LA has a ton of expiring contracts to move, including Marcus Morris, who's a little pissed. When they traded for Russell Westbrook last year, Morris got moved to the bench. He's been so upset, he bailed on Russ's Clippers workout this summer and unfollowed him on social media. But he'll be in the trade no matter what. The real question is, what good player can Philly get? Well, most of the trades have already been done. Dame's off the board, Drew Holiday is gone. There are only 2 players left that make sense. The first is Buddy Hield. The Pacers put him on the market 2 weeks ago because he's an expiring contract and they have tons of guards already. And he makes sense shooting around Joel Embiid. The second player is Malcolm Brogdon. He moved to Portland in the Drew Holiday trade, and it's a matter of time before he's traded again. Malcolm might be a good vet for Scoot Henderson, but he's not trying to do that. He needs to get another contract. Brogdon needs to be on a winning team to prove his worth. He would be a good replacement for Harden as a starting point guard. So which player makes sense? Why not both? A 4-team trade, with the Clippers getting Harden and PJ Tucker, the Sixers getting Brogdon and Buddy Hield, plus a 2030 first from the Clippers. The Pacers get Norman Powell, young Jaden Springer, and 2 seconds from LA. The Blazers get Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, and a 2028 first from the Clippers. Portland's price for Brogdon is a first, so that makes sense. The Pacers dump Hield for a better all-around player in Norm Powell with multiple years left. They also get a good prospect in Springer in 2 seconds. The Clippers don't get rid of Terrence Mann, but they have to part with 1 extra first-round pick to get the deal done. 4-teamers rarely happen in the NBA, but this is the only realistic way I see the Clippers and the Sixers being happy. So you can crush my trade scenario all you want in the comments. I don't care. I want to hear it actually. But people are really going to crush the Dallas Mavericks. They have such an uphill battle to make the playoffs, so I predicted the entire West and where Dallas will end up.